Good evening, everyone. I hope you all are doing great and you had a great break and a great session. And so much you were able to decode all the songs. So let's try to decode some codes in chemistry now and let's get back to studies. Sir, can you see my screen? Hello? Is my screen visible to you, sir? Okay. So I assume that all of you can see my screen right now. So in the last class, students, we were discussing about modern periodic table, right? And in the modern periodic table, if you remember, I had given you few codes to remember the names of the elements in order. So let's have a quick recap of what we had discussed before. But just to make sure, okay, chalo, let's start. Here, this is the modern periodic table, which was given by Henry Moseley. And we had started filling the elements in the form of rows and columns, which are called as groups and periods. In the beginning, we had first placed 3 periods, and the elements of the 3 periods are hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium. I want everyone to sit properly and repeat after me the names of the elements. Quickly, everyone. What will be the next element? Boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon. Then sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, and argon. So these are the elements from number 1 to 18. And we had also studied a code for these elements. And the code is hi, hello, listen, BBC News on Friday night. Naughty Mowgli always sings pop songs claimed by A.R. Rahman. Till here, students, we have studied the first 18 elements. Along with that, we started filling up the groups. The 4 groups which we studied last time were group 1, group 2, group 17, and group 18. In group 2, first I am going to tell you to remember the names of the elements. Names के पहले code बोलना है. What is the code? What is the code? Li, Na, K, RB, Cs, Farad. What was the code? Once again, Li, Na, K, RB, Cs, Farad. And the names of the elements in group 1, everyone quickly. Lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, and francium. Once again, what are the names? Lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, and francium. Now we are going to do group 2. और क्या था group 2 का code, students? Related to Mowgli. Already we have 2 elements here. Beta, Mowgli, Ka, Sar, Ba, Ra. What is the code? Beta, Mowgli, Ka, Sar, Ba, Ra. And now the most important part is to remember the name. नहीं तो मालूम पड़ा सिर्फ code आता है, नाम मालूम नहीं है. So make sure you also learn the names along with that and with the correct spellings. And the names of the elements of group 2 are beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, and radium. Once again, what are the names? Beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, and radium. Now comes the turn for group 17. And for group 17, what was the code? Can you recollect or have you revised or not? Please revise before you come for the lecture, students, so that your topic becomes much more easier and interesting. So group 17 is first class biryani I ate. What is the code? First class biryani I ate. And now the important part is the names of the elements, which are fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, and astatine. Once again, repeat. Fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, and astatine. Very well. Now the last one, that is group 18. That was related to our IPL. What are the names of the elements, or what's the code first? हरभजन ने आगरकर को 0 पे रन आउट किया. हरभजन ने आगरकर को 0 पे रन आउट किया. If the question is coming in your mind कि 117 और 118 वाला elements मैंने क्यों नहीं दिया है, because students who don't have to remember the names, they were a recent discovery and syllabus doesn't ask you to by heart the names of these elements, so you need not worry about them. कुछ कम हुआ तो अच्छा ही है ना. And what are the names of the elements of zero group or inert gases? Helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, and radon. Rn is radon. Helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, and radon. Till here we had discussed last time. So this was only the revision which I've been doing now. Now I'm going to move ahead in the chapter. Along with the names of these 3 periods and 4 groups, you also have to remember the names of the series which is placed at the bottom of the periodic table. In the beginning, I had used the names of the series. Let us see what are the names. The 57th element placed here is, students, La. And La stands for lanthanum. La stands for lanthanum. To study them in detail, they are arranged at the bottom of the periodic table in the form of the series called as lanthanide series. What is the series called as? Lanthanide series. Once again, what is the series called as? Lanthanide series. And why the name lanthanide, students? Because these elements have properties similar to that of lanthanum. So the lanthanide series starts from element with atomic number 58 and ends with atomic number 71. As you can see here the names. Ce, the 58th element is Ce. Ce stands for cerium. Ce stands for cerium. Ce stands for cerium and ends with Lu. Lu stands for lutetium. Lu stands for lutetium. So my lanthanide series basically starts with, students, the first element जिसके जैसे lanthanides behave करता है is lanthanum, La, and ends with lutetium, which is Lu. Starts with lanthanum, ends with lutetium. Starts with lanthanum, ends with lutetium. Very good. So these 2 names you have to remember of what the lanthanide series starts with and ends with. And the next series and the next element, which is my 89th element, Ac. Ac stands for actinium. Ac stands for actinium. Once again, Ac stands for actinium. Again, to study them in detail, they are arranged at the bottom of the periodic table in the form of the series called as actinide series. Called as actinide series. Why the word actinide? Correct, because they behave like actinium, so they are called as the actinide series. So the actinide series starts with element atomic number 90 to 103. Starts with element atomic number 90 to 103. The 90th element here is TH. TH stands for thorium. TH stands for thorium and ends with Lr, which is lawrencium. Lr is lawrencium. So my actinide series basically starts with the first element, which is actinium, and ends with Lr, which is lawrencium. So along with these 3 periods, 4 groups, you have to by heart what the lanthanide and actinide series starts with and ends with. Lanthanide series starts with the element lanthanum and ends with the element lutetium. Actinide series starts with the element actinium and ends with the element lawrencium. Simple language में बोलूं तो ला लू. Can you see here? ला लू ने खाया eclair. Lalu ने खाया eclair. If you remember this code, you will easily remember the names of the elements. But most of the times it does happen. तुमको लालू और eclair तो याद हो जाता है, पर element का नाम भूल जाते हो. So if you have to register the names of the elements in your mind, keep on repeating it. When you keep on saying the word, it gets registered easily. So when I say la-lu, it is lanthanum, lutetium. Eclair, it's actinium, lawrencium. Lanthanum, lutetium, actinium, lawrencium. So in this way, you have basically by hearted the periodic table which is required for your standard and the names of the elements along with the codes. Once I am done with my lecture today, students, please make sure you sit at home and revise the names of the elements once again so that easily gets by hearted to you. So now moving ahead with the chapter, we have already studied the layout of the modern periodic table. Now we are going to study something more important here, which is called as blocks of modern periodic table. Now the question arises, modern periodic table to समझ में आ गया, अब ये blocks क्या होता है? Let us see the table once again. If you observe the table carefully, I have differentiated into 4 different colors. And as you can see, each color is associated a word with a block here. S block, P block, D block, and F block. अगर तुम थोड़ा सब्जेक्ट के बारे में सोच रहे हो, then the question is कि ये blocks क्यों हैं? Why is it needed? How is it classified? So the answer to this is, students, elements in the modern periodic table are classified on the basis of electronic configuration. On the basis of electronic configuration, they are divided into these 4 blocks, which is S, P, D, and F. In future, you are going to, if you continue taking science, you are going to study about these blocks much more in detail. But for this standard, you are only going to study about these blocks, which is S, P, D, and F. And what is electronic configuration? Can anyone recollect this term, electronic configuration? It means the shell-wise distribution of electrons. Shell-wise distribution of electrons. And how many shells do we know? 4 shells. We have already studied all this in lower standard, students. Which are the 4 shells? K, L, M, N. K, L, M, N. And their individual capacities 2, 8, 18, and 32. Let's see how modern periodic table is classified on the basis of these blocks. As you can see here, the first one is this S block, P block, D block, and the last one is called as the F block. So can you see the placement of all the 4 blocks completely here? S block, P block, D block, and F block. Let's study each block in detail now. The first one I'm going to begin with is the S block elements. And just by looking at the periodic table, students, I assume that by now you should know what are the groups, what are the periods, and what is the 2 rows which are placed at the bottom of the periodic table. So when I say S block, what do you think which will be the groups included in this S block? Can you see here from the left side, I have taken this S block. Now in this S block, students, groups 1 and 2 are included. Groups 1 and 2 are included in this S block. So let's take the elements or the electronic configuration of the S block. And S block मतलब हम लोग ने S block में group 1 भी पूरा पढ़ा है, group 2 भी पूरा पढ़ा है. But I don't want you to remember all the names right now, just a few. Lithium, beryllium, sodium, and magnesium. I am not taking the name of hydrogen because if you remember, in demerits of modern periodic table, we had discussed that the position of hydrogen is not fixed, which was a demerit of Mendeleev. But till today, I told that we are facing this problem of placing hydrogen. So here you can see it is attached in the S block, but we don't consider it in group 1. It is slightly placed above group 1 because it is not showing properties. It is showing properties similar to that of group 1 and that of halogens. So because the properties are same, it becomes difficult to place it. So hence we will not consider it in group 1. So I'm taking only these 4 elements, which are lithium, beryllium, sodium, and magnesium. So what about this? Why are we even studying all this? इससे क्या पता चल रहा है, ma'am? So pay attention. All elements in S block contains 1 and 2 electrons in the outermost shell. When I say the outermost shell, if you see carefully, lithium के shell में first orbit में 2 electron है, second orbit में 1. Similarly, sodium के भी first shell में 2, 8 and the last shell has 1. In this way, group 1 contains only 1 electron in the outermost shell. All the elements, लीना के, RBC, स्वरा, सबके पास last में सिर्फ एक ही electron होगा. Similarly, जो group 2 है मेरा, what are my group 2 elements? Beta, Mowgli, Ka, Sar, Bara. And if you see the two examples which I have noted here, beryllium and magnesium. Can you see the two electrons in the last shell? So from this we conclude that जो S block elements है या S block है, which is comprising of group 1 and 2, contains only 1 or 2 electrons in the outermost shell. So what about that? When they contain 1 or 2 electrons in the outermost shell, these elements will always have the tendency to donate electron, right? We have 3 options: donate करो, accept करो या share करो. Donate, accept and share will depend upon the number of electrons in the outermost shell. अगर 4 electron रहेगा last shell में तो share. Less than 4 हुआ तो donate. More than 4 हुआ तो accept. So thinking on that lines, tell me what will it do? It will obviously donate electrons. So when they donate electrons, these all are metals basically. These all are metals. But again, I'm writing here except hydrogen, as it is not considered as the only element of the group 1. It is also similar to group 17. Moving ahead, since these elements have outermost shell incomplete, when I say outermost shell incomplete, because they are not completely stable, they are going to donate electron and then attain the stable electronic configuration. Hence, they are called as normal elements. What are they called as? Normal elements. Be attentive now. What did we study about S blocks elements? What are present in S block? What are the criteria are we going to decide here? Group 1 and 2, S block. Last shell or the outermost orbit has 1 or 2 electrons. So they have tendency to donate electrons and they all are metals. And because the last shell is incompletely filled, only last one shell is incompletely filled, so they are called as normal elements. What are they called as? Normal elements. Once again, repeat. What's the first block we have studied? S block. What's the first block? S block. What is the first block? S block. In S block, which are the groups? Group 1 and 2. Which are the groups? Groups 1 and 2. Once again, which are the groups? Groups 1 and 2. And what are they called as? Normal elements. What are they called as? Normal elements. And why the word normal? Because last only one shell is incompletely filled. Last only one shell is incompletely filled. So this is how is the criteria being used to talk about the other blocks. So if you all have understood about S block, let me move ahead with another block. The next block which I'm going to talk here is P block elements. What's the next block? P block elements. And in P block elements, as you can see the picture, दिख रहा है ये picture? In P block elements, we have elements of groups 13 to 18. Extreme right side corner में students जो block है वो हमारा P block elements है. And P block elements में कहाँ से कहाँ तक है groups? 13 to 18. 13 to 18. What will be the next thing you're going to talk about? What am I going to see in the next thing in the each block? Groups 13 to 18 elements are included in P block. Now let's take the electronic configuration of few elements of the block. These are the names of the elements: boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine and neon. Now the question is, ma'am, इसके last shell में तो अलग-अलग electrons हैं. Correct. In the last shell, the electrons ranges from 3 to 8. And it is same for all the elements which are placed below. I am just seeing across the period. I'm just seeing across the period. In across the period, all the elements in the block, in the entire block contains 3 to 8 electrons. Contains 3 to 8 electrons. पहले 3, फिर 4, फिर 5, फिर 6, फिर 7 and then comes 8. So now what? ऐसा है तो क्या करना है? Let's see. Can you see a line coming up here? A zigzag line? This zigzag line is the most important part of periodic table. This zigzag line divides the block or divides the entire periodic table into two parts. Even though this it is in P block. See, please see here carefully. Even though it is only in P block, but it is actually dividing the entire periodic table into two parts. How is it dividing and what is the importance? The zigzag line divides the periodic table in such a way that the elements on the right-hand side of the zigzag line, are non-metals, and the elements on the left-hand side are all metals. Right-hand side, non-metals, left-hand side, metals. Right-hand side, non-metals, left-hand side, metals. तो अगर ये तुम्हारे दिमाग में फिट हुआ है, इसीलिए ग्रुप 1 में हमने बोला था सब मेटल्स हैं. See here, group 1. All were metals because they are included in the left hand side of the periodic table. So this P block contains one zigzag line which divides the entire table into two parts. Elements present on the right hand side are all non-metals and elements present on the left hand side are all metals. So what about the elements bordering the zigzag line? The elements bordering the zigzag line are called as metalloids. What are they called as? Metalloids. What are they called as? Metalloids. And what are metalloids? Metalloids are those elements which has properties similar to that of metals as well as non-metals. जिसका property दोनों के जैसे similar है उसको हम बोलते हैं metalloids. Let's see the names of the metalloids here. Boron, silicon, germanium, arsenic, antimony, tellurium and polonium. ये हाइफन डू वर्ड सुन के तुम्हारा दिमाग हाइपर हो गया होगा. बाप रे बहुत डिफिकल्ट है, इतना हमको याद कैसे रहेगा? अभी तो जस्ट पूरा पीरियोडिक टेबल याद किया है. वो पीरियोडिक टेबल में ही just a little more addition students to remember the names of these metalloids, as it can be asked in find the odd man out or name the metalloids. And what do you mean by metalloids? Very frequently asked question in board exams. What are the names of the metalloids? And what are the names? Once again, boron, silicon, germanium, arsenic, antimony. SB stands for antimony, tellurium and polonium. In case if you're not keeping your textbook handy, let me show you one other screen here. Can you see this? This is the picture in your textbook, students. In this picture, you can see here on the right hand side. See carefully, I'm just zooming in for you. Can you see a different color shade given in between for this boron, silicon, germanium, arsenic, antimony, tellurium and polonium? From this, you can even remember the spellings and as well as the names. What are the names? Boron, silicon, germanium, arsenic. Once again, repeat. Boron, silicon, germanium, arsenic. Antimony, tellurium, polonium. Antimony, tellurium, polonium. Boron, silicon, germanium, arsenic, antimony, tellurium and polonium. So these are the names of the metalloids. So in this P block, students, we have studied about metals. We studied about non-metals. We also studied about metalloids. So this group is very important because it is comprising of all the three parts. इस ग्रुप में थोड़े metals भी है, थोड़े non-metals भी है और थोड़े metalloids भी है. So this is the P block elements. And now, what will be this group का elements called? Will they be called as normal elements? What do you mean by normal elements? Tell me. What is the meaning of normal elements? Normal elements are those which has only last one shell incompletely filled. Why only one? Because the last one shell is incompletely filled, they are called as normal elements. And the last group, which is the 18th group, that won't be considered into normal elements. Can I say the 18th group is also normal elements? Can I say that yes or no? No. Why? Because this does not have any shell incomplete. So they have a different name, which is called as inert elements or zero group elements, or also called as noble gases. So we have these terms here. When I use the word normal elements, I am talking about the elements which has only last one shell incompletely filled. When I talk about inert elements or zero group elements, that means I'm talking about the elements which has last all shells completely filled. So this was about our P block elements, students. So in P block, let us revise once again. क्या था P block में? Groups 13 to 18. Groups 13 to 18 contains 3 to 8 electrons in the last shell. It consists of a zigzag line which divides the entire periodic table into two parts. Elements present on the left hand side are metals and right hand side are non-metals. And elements bordering the zigzag line are metalloids. Elements bordering the zigzag line are metalloids. And which are the metalloids? Quickly, कुछ एक तो याद करो, B से easy है. Boron, silicon, germanium, arsenic, antimony, tellurium, polonium. If the question is coming in your mind, मैम सब नाम याद रखना है क्या? सिर्फ दो नाम याद रखेगा तो चलेगा क्या? The answer is no, because अगर तुमने सिर्फ दो नाम याद रखा, in odd man out students, they might give you a group of all the elements where they might ask you to pick up only the metalloid. So in that case, you will be forced to remember all the names. So I would suggest everyone to remember all the names of the metalloids. And metals and non-metals you remember when you know the periodic table well. Okay? And in this also we have normal elements and zero group elements. So this was about our P block. What is this? P block. So we studied about S block and P block. Now let's move on to the next block, which is the D block elements. And do you remember the position of the D block elements in the periodic table? Here. Let's see. So this is my D block elements. अभी logically अगर तुमको periodic table को visualize करो अच्छे से, तो S block में in S block we have already covered this. In P block we have already covered this. So what is left? D block. तो कौन से elements आएंगे D block में? Which will be the groups? 1, 2 तो हो गया. 13 से 18 भी हो गया. तो बचा क्या है बीच में? Very good. 3 to 12. Groups 3 to 12 are called as D block elements. Which are the groups? Groups 3 to 12. Students, इतना difficult नहीं है. You don't have to memorize. Try to visualize the table clearly in your mind. Periodic table का image तुम्हारे दिमाग में आना चाहिए when you're studying about this table. So you know the S block is extreme left, P block is extreme right, and in the center I have this D block which ranges from 3 to 12. These elements, students, इनका थोड़ा slightly different है configuration. I have taken example of two elements here. Fe. What does Fe stands for? Iron. And what does Cu stands for? Copper. Because of their stability issues, students, and because of their configuration and alignment of electrons, if you observe the electronic configuration carefully, you can see here, first shell is 2, second shell is 8, third shell is 14, and the next shell is 2. Even though the third shell ka capacity is 18, why didn't I put the 2 here? Because to become stable in nature and easily donate electrons, as iron being a metal, the 2 electrons jumps from the third orbit and moves to the next orbit. And because of this problem, the last 2 shells are incompletely filled. 14 wala shell bhi incomplete ho gaya और last wala shell bhi incomplete ho gaya. So what do I conclude from this example of iron here? That in D block elements, last 2 shells are incompletely filled. अभी तक हमने क्या डिस्कस किया था कि last only 1 shell was either incomplete or complete. पर इसका क्या problem है? Last 2 shells are incompletely filled. Similarly goes for copper. Copper पे देखो, first one 2, 8, 17 and again 2. So here also 2 outermost shells are incomplete. And when the 2 outermost shells are incomplete, we call such elements as transition elements. What do we call them as? Transition elements. What do we call them as? Transition elements. Again, the word transition comes because if you see the position of D block in the center here, ये जो सब है यहाँ पे metals हैं, ये सब कौन है? Non-metals. So it is slightly moving from metals to non-metals. They are in between. So they are basically transiting their properties. So we give them a word called as transition elements. And again, transition word will also be assigned when the last 2 shells are incompletely filled. When last 2 shells are incompletely filled, they'll be called as transition elements. And because they are all on the left-hand side of the zigzag line, क्योंकि zigzag line कहाँ पे था? In this column, right? यहाँ पे था zigzag line. So they are all on the left-hand side. So they all are metals. They all are metals. I hope you're being attentive and listening to me carefully. Today, we discussed about the blocks of the modern periodic table, where I said I'm going to discuss about 4 blocks. The 4 blocks are S block, P block, D block and F block. S, P, D and F, where we already discussed about S, P and D. The F block I'm going to discuss next time. But before that, just make sure you're remembering the names, the group numbers, the names of the metalloids. This will be your homework for next week, where you have to only learn the names of the elements which I have already done in the previous class. That you'll have to revise. You will already have to revise the same thing and learn about the blocks in detail. Please make sure, students, you do all that, because in the next class, we are only going to talk about the things which you have studied before. On the basis of that, only you want to answer the questions in the next class. So make sure you all are revising it well before coming to my class next time. And with this, I finish my lecture.